Hi peeps, I'm Ariel Grace, and I have an awesome psychic tip of the day for you. Clearing your home. So, it is now the thinning of the veils, and we're kind of in the midst of it. And we've just had a solar eclipse and a new moon, and we're rolling forward to the full moon with a lunar eclipse. So if y'all thought that things were boring, get ready. Because things are going to start happening. And there's going to be more action and more energy. So I am going to tell this like a story so that you get the idea of where I'm going with this. About probably about 20 years ago, I lived in Taos. And Taos in itself has its own paranormal craziness. So if you ever want to go to a paranormal town and have some really cool experiences, visit Taos. I wouldn't recommend moving there, but visit Taos. Okay. So about 20 years ago, I was referred to a lady who owned a beautiful hacienda home. It was gorgeous. Like, it was a true hacienda too. It was like the square, and in the middle there was like a garden, and the rooms all faced, like you could open doors and go out into the garden. That's how you got to the rooms. It was a really cool house. It was haunted as all get out, and it was hoarded to the ceiling. It was. It was a generational home, and the woman that inherited it, her family had passed away. And slowly but surely her siblings had passed away in the home. And so she hired me to come in and assist with clearing the house. It took like 6 months to clear that house. It did. And the first thing that we had to do is start clearing stuff out of the house, like physical things out of the house. She had like 40 years of newspapers in the house. She had books. She had junk. She had, she could get to a little area of her sitting room, and this house was huge. A little area in her sitting room to the bathroom, and then into parts of the kitchen. And the younger people in the family were worried about her living in this house. So we all had to sit down and we started a plan to clear the house. And it took us a long time to do that. I went down and volunteered to help, bring newspapers to the recycling bin and to take out glass and, just do the recycling stuff. And as we cleared a room, it got harder and harder to get into the other rooms because the windows wouldn't open. We had to actually take the doors off of the hinges and then try to get into the rooms. Things would fly around. None of us had like phones like we do now to videotape any of this, but it was crazy. And so we had antique dealers in there, we had art dealers in there, we had booksellers in there, we had all kinds of people coming in there because they needed to raise money for the house. The house needed like a new roof, it needed new electricity, it needed new plumbing, it needed new everything. It had not been updated in a long time. And each time a handyman or the person, like the electrician or the plumber would come in to do something in the house. Something crazy would happen. And the electricity never worked in that house. It was always glitching and on and off. And the electrician said there was nothing wrong with the electricity in the house. So we had a hard time with it. There were a lot of spirits that just were stuck in that house. And most of them were not even her relatives. They were stuck to the object. You know, they were connected to the objects that she had in the house. So when those objects left the house, it started to settle. You know, it started to feel better in the house. It didn't feel like such a burden, especially to her, because she was an older lady, and her younger nieces and nephews wanted to take turns living with her so that she would be okay. So there was just craziness. Now, one of the reasons why her house was haunted was because of these objects that she brought into the house, and she didn't clear them before they came in. And so when you want to clear an object, wash it. Like, take some soap and water and wash it. If it's furniture, wash it. Especially if it's coming from a thrift store or an auction house or something like that. Wash it down. Clean it up. Okay, that's going to help it a lot. And it may even clear the spirit off too. Make sure that if you like the object but you're reluctant to buy it, you feel that, nah, kind of feeling, just don't buy it. There's other objects that you can get that you'll like, for sure. You want to make sure that your home is clean, that it's clear of messiness. And I'm not just talking like work messiness. I'm talking about messy, dirty. Clean your homes. Spirits love a mess because they can do all kinds of craziness with a mess. They can like make like hoarded homes, like the stuff slide around, things can go missing or appear in a different place, you know, things like that. So you want to, and the electricity. Electricity is the funnest thing for a spirit because they can actually see, you know, they can feel that electricity. You know, like, oh yeah, let's do that. You know, lights out. And so, or your air conditioning might not work, or your heater might not work, or some kind of craziness like that. And the only reason why they're doing it is because they can. And they will. And they'll continue to do it. So, because oftentimes spirits are like, this is my house. But really, it's not anymore, because guess what? They're spirits now. So, in clearing this home, like I said, it took 6 months. We don't want to take 6 months to clear your house, right? We want to make sure the house is clean and clear all the time. So start in one room and start clearing stuff out. Anything that you don't like, that doesn't serve you, you have not used, or you've even forgotten about. It's time to get rid of it. Start moving it out of the house. That way, you're not accumulating anything. Your house isn't a mess, and you don't attract any spirits. Because if you have teenagers in the house, you could have poltergeist activity going on and not even know about it because your house is so messy. And then when your house gets clean and the stress level goes down because the house is clean and clear, then there's less of that acting out with your teenagers because of the poltergeist activity. So you may want to check that. Make sure that you're organized, your children's rooms are organized. With my psychic kids that I teach, I always ask them, that's the first thing I ask them in each session. Is your room clean and organized? And it's not because I'm trying to be a mom. It's because I want them to develop habits if they're going to work in the mediumship realm, or even any other realm, if they are mediums, spirits are going to be attracted to them. And spirits love a mess. And so they'll go in, and if you think your teenager is messy, wait till you see when they've attracted like 2 or 3 spirits in their room. The place is a mess. So we want to make sure to keep our homes clean and clear, because our homes are our sanctuary. They're our safe places. They are the places that we go to rest, to enjoy, and to enjoy our families. And this is why, like, I talked about the extreme haunting of the hoarded house. Now, there's a lot of other crazy stuff that went on in that house while we were cleaning it. But once the house was clean and cleared and organized, and her nieces and nephews were able to come and help her maintain the house, and the home was fixed up, it was so beautiful. And all of them felt so much better, and felt better for her staying there even when she had to be there alone. She was safe, you know? So some hauntings, it takes a little while, you know, they've got to come off in layers. Some hauntings, you can knock them out the first time. But if the house is in disarray, if the house is not maintained or cared for, and the mess comes back, you're like a magnet for that. All right. And if you are an empath, an intuitive, it's not a great place for you to be in, because you don't want your energy field to be like messy. You want it to be clear so you can think clearly, you can get your insights clearly, and you can feel good in your home and when you leave your home. Okay? All right. So that's my psychic tip of the day. Clean your house. It's the thinning of the veils right now. So get that house clean. Get it ready for the holidays. Get it ready. Make it beautiful. Make it your home. All right. So have a great day. And remember, keep your heart open and aligned with the energy of love. And I'll see you next time. Bye.